Hello, hello, my dear audience. And Kristina here. Today's a new episode of KSM Podcast, going business online with Kristina. And like as always, I'm super, super happy. I'm super excited today to have my very special guest speaker, Lady Sara Troy. Sara, welcome to the show today.
No, thank you for having me back. And of course, May 12th, everybody's got to come over to my side and listen to yet our third show together. We keep interviewing each other because we've always got something else to add, right?
Yes, of course. And Sarah is such an amazing podcaster. What I wanted to show because Sarah is many, many years in podcasting world. And Sarah, tell us a little bit about you. Yeah, we were guest speaker,
Mhm.
hosted each other, but today is also, and we have always something new to share with our audience. And tell us a little for people, for audience who don't know you. Tell us a little bit about you and your, and introduce yourself. So a little bit about you.
I'm Sara Troy. I live on the beautiful Vancouver Island, British Columbia, Canada. I am a 14-year veteran in podcasting, international podcasting. I'm also a book developer. We did one book, an ebook a few years ago about your self-discovery, an anthology. Everybody contributed. 2 years ago, Our Forgotten Children anthology around the raising of our children. And now I'm gathering authors for Our Forgotten Seniors, where we will celebrate the seniors' contribution and also look at their challenges, whether it's financial health, society, and a warning to the youth. But primarily, I am a podcaster. I get to interview wonderful people like yourself, people from all over the world that are coming from the heart, that really are committed to what they're doing and why they're doing it, and in the service of others. And it doesn't matter what the genre is, because I have 20 different genres. It's more to do with the real intent of why they're doing it. It's not ego based. It's not rah rah six figures. It's all about empowering others because along the line there on their journey, they became empowered and they now wish to share that empowerment with everyone else.
Thank you, Sarah. And I know that everything what you do that from your heart,
Hmm.
from your soul. And you're very, very interesting podcaster because when I you were a podcaster when I didn't know what podcast is, to be honest,
Yeah.
because either that English is my second language, and to be honest, I have never thinking about it. I'm going to be a podcaster, but who knows? We are people with no boundaries and we can do
Exactly.
whatever we imagine to do. So, before when we dive deep into our conversation today, can you share with us a little bit about your background? Either that you're a podcaster, author, writer, and
It's a
coach, and
multiple
much, much
background.
more.
Uh, it's kind of funny right now, as you know, I'm 71, and somebody said to me, "Do you realize that's 7 decades?" And when you look at it as 7 decades, it feels so much more than the number 71. So I decided that every week I'll do a podcast on a decade. And so I'm revisiting a decade and kind of looking at all the things I've done, all the places I've lived, all the places I've met, all the ups and downs. And I realize I've done a lot in life. But I also realize that everything I've done, because I'm always about, well, this doesn't work, what's next? What I don't know if I can do it until I try. So everything I've done has kind of prepared me for what I'm doing right now. And I think that very often when people are trying something out and it's rocky and they try and stay with it, and eventually kind of the doors close on them, it's just not meant to be, they feel a failure. And it isn't. What did you learn from it? Even if you learned that's not your path, but what skills and tools, or what did you learn about yourself that you can take forward? Because I didn't know I was an author. I didn't know I was a podcaster. I didn't know that I was a true colors coach. I didn't know that I always knew I was a spiritual counselor because I've been that since a child. But all of these things that I'm doing, I didn't know I was capable of doing until they were kind of presented. And I said, yes, let's give it a try.
Yeah, and when you mention about your years, do you feel those years?
At times.
Yeah,
um,
but
I have a physical ailment, which very often kind of makes me feel those years. But in spirit, I'm ancient. I'm millions of years old. Like it's the soul. My soul is long, long, long old.
and your brain and your
But in my
soul,
brain,
that means
actually, I
that
would
you
say in
have a
my
lot of
soul.
capacity
Yeah,
to
no, in my
work.
spirit is young, my soul is old, right? I've still got that spirit enthusiasm, that spirit of wonderment and exploration. And, I have three beautiful grandchildren now under the age of 5. And, I'm always making up songs and doing things with them, and they keep your spirit alive. And I think that's something very important. These are the number of my years, and occasionally my body feels it, but my spirit is still young and still exploratory. And I am so young in the spectrum of things. And I think that it's all to do with attitude and gratitude and not lackitude.
Yeah, and this is when we do something from our heart, from our
Mm,
soul, with love, and we're when we are so dedicated what we do and what we do, we love to do it. That is no boundaries. I mean, and you
no,
mentioned that there are people who just, yeah, no, door are closed.
yeah,
No, we always have step forward to do
yeah.
this, to do that, and move forward.
And that's the point. I mean, we are spiritual beings having a human existence. All right. And then we realize how hard it is to be a human. We are so complex in the human mold, right? The brain, the mind, the emotions, the chemistry, but we are all energetic beings. And when we learn to actually get in sync with our rhythm, with our particularly energetic signature and ride that, it will always take us forward. And when a door closes, we don't cry about it because we know, okay, that's come to an end. What window or what door can I open now? Because we know it's about the flow and moving forward. What happens with many people that are disconnected to heart and soul, or spirit and soul, because the heart is more human, is that they become too stuck in the humanoidism and they haven't let the soul and spirit wisdom speak to them and lift their energy and project forward into something else.
You said that amazing, and yeah, there are many people who are disconnected with their inside of them. I mean,
Yes.
yeah,
Oh, they
that's
get caught up
pretty.
in trauma or they get caught up in shame and blame and they get caught up in this sense of failure or I'm not enough. That is a humanoidism. That is a dictation placed upon humans, right? And when we listen to the soul, heart, and spirit dialogue, we are always enough. We are always ready to be even more, right? And I think it's like we've got to look at where is it coming from? And if it's coming from the outside in, does it serve me? If it doesn't serve me, close the door on it. Everything about our existence is inside out. The connection to the soul wisdom, universal God, universal source energy, to the heart resonance, to the spirit action for the clarity of the mind, to know what to do. When we come from the inside out, we truly understand our purpose, our calling, our reason for being, what we were designed here to do. And our heart and soul and everything lifts up into passion. And we're excited to do what we're doing because we're finally in the right groove.
Yeah, that's amazing, and yeah, we finally need to know who we are, just but in
Mm-hmm.
that way to, you know I have some question for you, and I know that you have today to talk, you have such a new project, but also before we dive deep into that, I wanted to ask you a few
Mm-hmm.
questions, and then just that discussion today will be so attractable and valued for our listeners. And when did you first realize your gift for seeing potential in others?
Mm. I will actually say I was born this way, Lady Gaga. Um, because as a child, I would be able to say something to somebody, kind of give them something they needed to know. And they go, how do you know that? I don't know. Could you repeat it? No. I was literally the channeler, the downloader. But I was such an innocent and naive child on kind of on the human side of it. But I was this channeler. So I've always been able to see the potential in people and what they can be. And my journey for so long was to show them who they were inside. And very often it was like, you know, hitting a head against a bull because no, I don't want to be that. um, but that was my journey for, for a good 50, nearly 60 years. Um, you know, until I kind of changed direction here of helping people identify really who they are and what they're here to do, whether they wanted to do or not. And you can't help people unless they have free will. So it's always been with me one way or the other. And obviously, as I've grown and evolved, that way of showing them or seeing deeper has evolved with me.
That's great. And I think that when you started your podcast and podcasting, let's say many, such a huge number of people, that you
Yes.
also had a chance and still have chance to see potential
Yeah.
also with your guest speakers.
Very often happens where we're on a show and I see something and it has to come out
And
because it's
this is a opportunity to get to know more and to
Mhm.
learn something, which I do also in my area
And I
of
think I think that's that
podcasting.
willingness. It's not about my knowledge pitted against your knowledge. It's that my knowledge is being shared with you at that time because it is something that is compelled to share, not out of ego, but just out of that's what I'm here to share. And I think if people stop taking it as an affront or as an attack, or as a put down and go, oh, you see it that way. I haven't looked at it that way myself. If we could be more open to what other people see in us, because very often we don't see it ourselves.
Yeah, this is so true. Yeah, and this is the way how we can help each other.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe what you can see, I don't see it, or
Mm-hmm.
vice
Mm-hmm.
versa, you know. And what connect people who live with true purpose? What connect those people?
Back to the soul.
Back to the soul.
I think when you finally collect to your soul wisdom, and people may call it higher intelligence or higher consciousness, whatever you wish to call it. I call it soul wisdom. And it is that download from the universe. We are all made out of the universe. The particles in the universe, the way the earth is made, we're all made out of these particles. So when we actually open up to the universal wisdom and download that, there is an understanding that is so clear and so profound that ignites our heart in absolute passion, that lifts our spirit up in enthusiasm, that gives us that clarity of mind of like, this is it. Right. But we have to listen to that soul wisdom. We have to feel it and integrate it for the mind to know in clarity what to do with it. And if we can't think our way there, because that's data, we have to download and feel our way there to understand what the knowledge is.
And that is something what every single person has,
Mm-hmm.
but we need to discover it. Sometimes people, as you said, that's some kind of disconnection, what
Yes,
we talk about,
right,
because we wanted something like on the surface, but not something which is inside of us. So we are only
right.
humans, and we need
Mm-hmm.
to follow that. I mean, and spirit as
We're
well.
not only human. You see that statement? No, we're not only human. We are divine essence traveling in a human body. So we have the human side of us that is only human. But when we ignite with the soul wisdom, we are not only human. And then we also realize we're not alone. We never travel alone. We are always being supported. We are always being guided. And our journey becomes so much clearer and supportive. But when we are only human, we're flapping in the wind because we haven't got the soul connection.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you said that very, very correct. And this is gonna be such a good opportunity for people maybe who just they don't know about it, or
Mhm.
they don't think about it. And Sarah just explained something which is much more than that we are only human.
I'd like to pose a question here. Why do they live so much in
Yeah.
faith? In faith. People have faith in a God they don't see. But when they ask God for help and God helps them, they feel it, the guidance is because they've opened up to God's wisdom, universe wisdom, energy, whatever you want to call it. They don't, I've got to see God in front of me to believe it. They feel the God's essence. They feel the God's direction. It's trust in that faith. And when you trust that faith in whichever form it comes to you, then you know that you are not traveling alone in this lifetime. You are traveling with.
Mm. Very, very interesting and so true. And how can someone start reconnecting with their soul in daily life?
Get out of the head. Stop
Mhm.
thinking. Go and connect to nature. If you're a city slicker, get out into the countryside. Go and hug a tree. Go and swim in a lake. Go and swim in the ocean. Go for a beautiful walk where you watch the squirrels, where you watch dogs with their sticks, children laughing, picking up leaves, listen to the trees. We think trees are just loads of wood there. Oh my God, the intellect of trees is very profound. They have a signature. In fact, every single plant, and there is an organization that you can see on Facebook Reels there, but they have an instrument where they can measure the sound of every living thing out there, a tree, a plant, a flower, and every single thing has a different signature. When we immerse ourselves into nature, we are absorbing what nature gives us. It connects us, it ignites us. It ignites our heart and soul. It lifts our spirit, opens up those channels in order to receive. We can't do it in a concrete jungle. We can't do it in static noise. Some people can do it through meditation, but you shouldn't always have to be in silence. You should be able to meditate in the chaos. And if you learn to absorb what nature has to give you, then nature can carry you through, even in the static moments. But it's that connection. Mother Earth is an incredible vibrational creature. When some people like grounding. I said, please don't give all your problems to Mother Earth. She's just had enough. She's cracking up, right? Give your joy and appreciation to her as well. And look to the universe, look to the skies. Whichever way you receive, find out which way you receive. And you will know because it's a moment, right? So when you connect to that inner voice, that inner feeling, your purpose opens up. You start to see things in front of you. Your heart jumps. Your spirit gets excited. Your mind becomes clear. Oh, I can do this. I can do that. But it's connect, connect, connect in order to understand truly where you're meant to be and why you're meant to be there.
And you just gave me idea like when you mentioned trees and everything, you know that when some uh, watering of flowers
Mhm.
and raise up, that planting flowers like to speak with them.
Yes, yes.
And
Everything has a voice. Yeah.
or water also
It's
has
a
some.
conduit. It's a
Yeah.
conduit. Yeah. You can do your meditation in a shower. You can do your affirmation and your connection in a shower. Water is a conduit,
Yeah,
right?
and this is where you are alone.
Hmm.
No, there is no noise,
Yeah.
and I think that is where when you are alone with yourself that you can open up and get something from universe. I mean,
Animal kingdom as well. More and more we're seeing animals being support for humans. It used to be the other way around. And now we're seeing animals being support for humans because they work on a vibrational level, especially dogs. Once they're loyal to you, you're bonded, right? Cats are a little more aloof. They think you should serve them. But dogs, and we're looking at cows and things like this, where we're not just looking at them as meat anymore. We're looking at them as living beings, and when we understand that, we can completely fortify ourselves and live very healthily and abundantly on plant food. We don't have to eat meat. That is actually an archaic way of looking at things. But I think what it is understanding, tuning into a frequency, and whichever way you do it, pay attention to it. If it fortifies you, do it often.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Amazing, really. Uh, um, and I also wanted to ask you about what's what is one self-discovery insight that changes everything?
Oh. It's like
Thank
when
you.
you,
That sounds great.
it's like, I'm there, it's that epiphany when you finally realize you're on the right path, that every mountain you've climbed, every pit you've fallen down, every winding road, every time you've been run over, finally you're on the right path and everything makes sense. And it is a sense of, it's not euphoria, which kind of has a height and a drop. It's more like a harmonic, because you feel so at peace and at one with it. It's like a beautiful deep breath. I am who I am, and I am where I am meant to be, doing what I'm meant to do. And I have such a beautiful sense of peace about it.
Amazing, really. I really enjoy. I'm enjoying just listening how you explain it. Perfect, yeah. And what makes someone a true change maker today?
I
Uh,
think they become the change maker when they've stepped into their true calling,
mm,
right? We have people that are attempting to be change makers because they think they have an apt for something. I can do this, I can do that. This is my ability, and I'm changing lives. But unless you have changed your own life, right, and you are using what changed your life to help others apply it to their lives, you aren't really a change maker. You might be a waker upper because people are seeing something from a different point of view. But that change maker, again, comes from when you've changed, when you become the love you seek, when you become the peace you seek, when you become the purpose you seek. That inspiration becomes an invitation for others to go, oh, I like the message. I like the way this person feels. I like what they're giving off. I like what they ignite inside of me, right? And that's where the changes happen. That's when the change maker happen. It's not the next best program, the next best app. That might be a tool, but if they're reliant on the tool, and you know that they're not drinking their own Kool-Aid, it's when the person is the inspiration themselves, when you can feel that exuberance of they are the change, and they're showing you how you can apply that to yourself for you to change your own life to become the change maker for others. So it's not in the doing, it's in the being while you're doing.
yeah, and also live that. You
Yes,
need to
live it
live that as
completely.
a life. Live it completely. When you get
Yes.
up, when you go to sleep,
Mm-hmm.
whatever you do, you need to live that purpose.
As Popeye says, I am what I am. Be who you
Yeah,
are. Own
yeah.
who you are 24/7. No apology. And if somebody doesn't get you, somebody doesn't like you, that's on them, not you, right? Just say thank you very much and move on. Don't take it personally. Don't be offended. They're not ready to receive you where you're at.
100% true. Thank you for sharing that. And this is so especially in today's digital world with many comments and
Mm,
when public and people just put it everything, but that's the other side. I don't want to mention that. I wanted to go deep inside who we really are and who we have, that our inner voice, what you said. And Sarah, you are a writer.
mhm.
You wrote many books. So I
I've
would love,
contributed to many, but I've written one book myself and I've
yeah,
contributed to other
and
books.
yeah, like Coulter's book. So
Hmm.
I would love to talk about a little bit about your book and
Hmm.
Coulter's book, and then I would love to talk about your project, what you
Okay.
do. There, there is always something to share, You have always, and
Uh,
your community, and you're always in action. I love that
yeah,
energy.
it's again compelled to do so. There's always so much to be done, right? And nowadays, because I am a grandma and I'm very hands-on, my daughter has three children under the age of 5, a 6-month-old, a 3-year-old, and the 3-year-old has Down syndrome. And so he is more of especially around the baby, we can't kind of leave him, because you never know when he's going to strike and, middle child syndrome. And so I'm a lot there. So I only work 3 days a week and, kind of at the weekend doing admin and things like that. So it's a balance for me. So, this is where you get the 100% Sarah, and over there is when they get the 100% Nana and, kind of get fortified by the children. But yeah, I had a few years ago people saying, but Sarah, where's your book? You're always or entering, interviewing people with their memoirs. Where's yours? So I wrote mine, Sarah's Self-Discovery to Soul Living. And it's just a perspective of me looking back on my life. And I haven't kind of relived the pain. I've looked at the pain and how it molded me and where it took me. And, my own self-discovery of through the pain, what to let go of. And, every day is a new revelation. And then of course now I'm doing these podcasts of decades, and again it's and it's what first comes into my mind of what I remember when I'm doing the show. And there's always afterwards when I'm finished, oh, I should have said this or I should have said that. But what comes out is what comes out. And if somebody listened to one of them, it's like, God, you've done so much, and that was just in your 20s. So I'm an explorer, I think, by nature. So um, then, as I said, the Our Forgotten Children was a 5-year project for me, gathering the authors for it. And so that one is, around the raising of our children. And I really, truly do believe that the system is at fault. We don't spend enough time in supporting families. We don't spend enough time in building a structure for families to nurture their children, and or for us to embrace our children in the essence of who they are instead of trying to make them conform to society's needs. So that book is very much about that. The other book, Dare to Live Fearlessly, I wrote a chapter in that. And basically, we look at, a fear that we had and how we overcame it, and looking at fear in the face. And this is the big one. Mission Accepted 262 Women. This book, 262 women in here. It's a 5-year project of getting it around. It's been to the Emmys, it's been to the Grammys, it's been to the Oscars twice. It's just been inducted into the archives in Canada. And I'm very proud to be a part of that. Plus, I have interviewed about 51 people from the book. And then there's another book over there. I'm not selfish. I'm just not easily manipulated. And it's how we look at it's self-care, self-love, not selfish. So a lot of people, especially in transition, oh no, people will think I'm too selfish for me to say no, too selfish for me to spend time on my own healing, too selfish not to be there for everyone else and actually be there for myself. And that's not so. We need you to have self-love and self-care, and that is not selfish. So those are the books that I've been in. And the project, as I said at the top of the hour, the next one is Our Forgotten Seniors. And as I said, it's celebrating the senior. I am obviously a senior, but I see, especially Western society, how seniors are treated. And it's almost like you're discarded. You put out to pasture, it's a young person's world. Get out of my way, senior. And none of the young would have today what they have, you know, phone things with computers and everything on it without our input along the way. And there are cultures that revere their elders for the path that they've laid, good or bad, for the wisdom they share, but just for even getting old, right? And so many people I interview are 50 plus, and they found their calling, their passion, their meaningful purpose in this chapter of their life, and they've still got so much more to give. And so I want to share that. I want to share what their contribution is. Everything I do is awareness shows, awareness books, because when we're aware, we care. When we care, we do something about it, but we can't be unaware. And so the whole thing about the book is celebrating seniors, but also showing the youth that if you immerse yourself in the wisdom of a senior and truly take that wisdom and apply it to your enthusiasm, you really do have balance and more chance of success, but also to treat seniors better. So that's the latest project.
Thank you for sharing that. And you have such a and congratulations on that book, 262.
62, yes,
Yeah, and
yes.
tell me, is that global project?
Yes,
There are
it's North
women
America
from
kind of right now, but it can be
all
bought
around the
globally.
world?
Yes, yeah, it's in many
Globally.
countries. It's got many authors in it. And the woman, Deb Drummond, who I've known for some years, interviewed her dozens of times, um, she started this by a download. You need to do a book with 262 women. And she laughed,
Yeah,
you
Deb
know?
also was a guest speaker on my podcast. So
Right, right. So
yeah,
you know her
she
enthusiasm and her energy and her
she's
passion.
really amazing. And
She's a
this,
dynamo.
I'm
And
sending
it's
regards for Deb.
yes, exactly. I mean, she's just an incredible woman. When you talk about woman supporter, right? And definitely, I mean, I'm creating an umbrella of wisdom here. She's created an empire for women, in support of women, and she's started her own TV channel now. The Woman's Channel, for women to come and share more of that wisdom. And um, she was going to walk across the island to support musicians, and that's kind of completely put on the back burner now because this book has taken over completely. But the recognition it's getting, and I've contributed to it, my daughter's contributed to it, and it's very much about just being honest and being open. And she does these wonderful summits. So, I mean, please go to my site and put in Deb Drummond. And you will see all the summits and all the shows she's done, her son and his empire that she's helped build. But she does these summits with these incredible women that come along. And I've never been a guest as a summit on the summits as a speaker, but she always comes to me and says, Sara, what do you think? And I'm on the spot. And so I've been a part of that right from the beginning as well. And as I said, I've interviewed a lot of people from the book. I haven't got anywhere near her energy. But we need people like Deb Drummond because she is literally drumming up support for women in such a big way.
Yeah, she's amazing. Yeah, I really appreciate and really um I congratulate all always to Deb because she's a really amazing lady and yeah,
And pay
she's so
attention to when the
supportive.
next summits are coming up. Because she does them every few months, International Women's Day, and then another one, and it's just the wisdom you're going to hear from the people. Some of the people I've interviewed from those summits are just like, oh, gobsmackingly profound, like just unbelievable. You'll get so much from them. So invest your time in them.
Thank you for sharing that. And again, regards to our amazing Deb Drummond. She's
Mm.
amazing lady. And Sarah, you mentioned before we started today's episode and show that you have something to share about your new projects. You're always in something new. You do it, but please share with us what is your project at the moment,
Well,
what you
it is
do.
the seniors book, and I am gathering seniors right now, 55 plus. And, I want to celebrate as I said, all their contribution, maybe what they're doing now, or if they are completely retired, what they have done, what they've achieved in life, but what their challenges are. It could be health, it could be finances, because believe me, pension does not cover life. Uh, and it could be society's opinion of you, the way government treats you, the way people treat you. And I want that profiled. I want it spoken about. But also the warning to the youth, especially 30s and 40s, start thinking about your seniorship, start investing in it, because guarantee you pension will not support you. It doesn't support us now. And down the road, God knows, it probably will only cover a cup of coffee. So you've got to look at, your long term. And I want our elders to share that. But it's also a celebration of our elders on who they are and what they are. And so I'm inviting authors to come be a part of it. The contribution from then is 2 podcasts. One to be sharing their why, why they've done what they're doing, what they're doing now. And then there will also be a podcast on their chapter and what the contribution, what it content is about. There'll be 2 summits. A summit where I will introduce all the authors, and that will be a fundraiser to actually raise money for the actual printing and publishing of the book, because we want to do it in audio, paperback, and ebook, and also a launching summit where we will be launched all day, and I want the authors to come in live and for people to interact, and people that are proactive in the sharing of it and being proud of it, not just putting it on the shelf and not thinking about it. The cost of it to the author is only $150. That's basically just to cover my end, the expenses, all the podcasting and everything else. As I said, the fundraising we will do will cover all the everything else. I want people that are truly proud, of their journey and what they've got to share, and really are passionate about their voice being heard. It's a legacy you're leaving behind. You do not have to be an author. They can simply even do it by Zoom. Do their chapter by Zoom, speak it. We will transcribe it. We will make it into the chapter, and they don't have to. I mean, the Zoom could be the audio for the book, or we can have AI do the audio. There's many ways we can do the audio around it. So we've made it as easy as possible for them. I have a professional editor. My brother is actually a literary master's degree. So he will be there to kind of edit people. And it is about celebration, awareness, warning, and invitation.
And
And
that will be legacy. And that book is going to be global.
it will be global. And I'm happy to have global participants. It will be English, obviously.
English. And tell me, do you prefer just to invite ladies or in
No,
gentlemen?
I want
Both.
everybody.
Everybody.
Anybody that
Anybody.
really has got somebody passionate to share. It's whatever your walk of life is. It's about, we want to celebrate who you are, why you are. I'm not looking for, I'm 6 figures, I'm this, I'm that. I'm not looking at that kind of success. The success you've had is that you are joyful in your own life. You are joyful in what you've done. You're joyful in what you've shared and you've contributed. That is the kind of impact that I'm wanting to have.
So for all you listeners, if you wanted to have legacy, if you wanted to go and then be part of to share what you have to share, if you are in retirement or to the end of professional career in corporate job, whatever you are,
Or still
and what
working, yeah.
still
We just
working, please connect with Sara. It's a very valued project. And that book will so, and after when people just passed away, they will have something to put to have for their
yes,
families and their
it's your
cousins,
voice.
relatives, and everyone.
And they can go to the Orchard, ORCHARD, of wisdom.org, ORG, dash our forgotten seniors. So it's the Orchard of wisdom.org, our forgotten seniors. And the reason why it's the orchard, because it's the wisdom ready for picking.
So I will put all links, and sorry, you all will share all links about it.
Mm-hmm.
where people can apply for that, or
Right.
what is procedure to connect with you or
Basically,
to?
go to the orchardofwisdom.org / I've got seniors, and you see there's a form to fill out. And what
Mm.
we will do is we will set up a chat. I've got to see the right synergy. I really want the book to have the right energy going all the way
And
through
do
it.
you, how many words people need? You will,
All of that
that
is listed on the page. It will say exactly how many words, everything
everything.
that I would need from them, all about what the participation is all about.
And
Uh,
when is deadline to start?
I
Everything
would
is
like
there.
um I would like us kind of summer to be the deadline if possible, like August, because I'd like this to be out for Christmas. So I would like to start getting people participating as soon as possible
You mean to have that finished book after Christmas
for
this year,
Christmas. For Christmas.
for
Hopefully.
Christmas?
Yeah, hopefully. That's
That's great.
one thing I've learned with the universe, it has its own timetable. Don't argue with it, right? But my desire is that whether the universe agrees with me or not, we will find out. But the bottom line is, I'm not going to push it for Christmas, if it's not meant to be. But I've got to have the right energies in there. So is just because you're a senior doesn't mean you qualify. I've got to see that you are the right. It's like an orchestra. You have beautiful musicians in there. They make up the orchestra, each one of them in their own strength, their own expertise. But if they're not willing to work in harmony and in sync, then we're not going to get the right orchestral music coming out. So I want to make sure that there is a synergy energy wise with the people that are coming on. And that, I know that it's coming from the heart and the soul. And that
Well, thank you
they're
for
really.
sharing such amazing project. And tell me also, do you have some kind of numbers of people who will be engaged as co-authors, or depends how many
I
people
would like
just
a
apply?
minimum of 15, maybe 20.
Yeah, I
So,
wish
yeah,
such a big, I just to our success to move forward and to realize that book that.
I hope
And
so because we've got to understand if we want to have an impact, we've got to be the impact, and that means that we need to participate things like podcasts, TED Talks, books, in order to share that impact. And when Deb started the mission Accept to 262, she had no idea the impact it was going to have. And when I put these books out, and what they mean to people. We don't have control of that, but when we put it out with the right energy, the people will feel that signature and pick it up. And we want it to have a positive impact on people.
that's yeah, and this is what you said, everything from your inner voice, everything from inside of you.
Yes.
And this is just a way, and I know how do you think because
We've
we
known each
get to
other a
know
while.
each other for a while. Yeah, that's yeah, and I'm so excited with that project. Really, that's news for our listeners just to
Yeah, well, you know
go
me. I've always
global.
got to have a project on, like this isn't enough. And of course, I'm also a True Colors coach and I do personality trait analysis. Um, but that one is like, it's not the forefront. If people want to go through that program, they can do. But which I always find fascinating. And people always kind of come out with like, I did not know that about myself. So, that's always a fun one
And
as
and would
well.
you like to share about your coaching? Because we spoke
Right, we
about
haven't talked
books,
about that.
about
Yeah.
yeah, I
Well,
would love to hear about the coaching, and we mentioned podcasting because you have many things to
right,
share.
yes. Well, the podcasting, of course, is, as I said, 14 years and really loving what I do. But the discovery of true self, the true colors personality insights, I take people through the personality traits through the true colors, the Myers and Briggs, 4 key personality traits. And when we understand those traits, we actually understand our perspective of how we receive information from people and how other people receive information from us. And they're going to receive it from one of their key color personalities. And so when we understand that, we actually understand why some people are very resonant with us and others aren't. So I've been doing this since 2001, and it's always fascinated me. But I also take people through, I take their numerology, their Chineseology, and their astrology, and I take it along with the True Colors map, and I show the correlation of strengths and weaknesses. Some weaknesses that can be brought up and strengthened. Some weaknesses you've got to give to someone else because you're never going to get there. And how to actually really focus in on your strengths and understand what they are. And I think, one of the things about finding harmony with your human self is when you actually understand how you're wired and how you do perceive and are perceived. And I think when you understand that, your projection of yourself becomes different. It's a totally different awareness. And I think that opened up then to your soul being able to speak to you because you're not in your own way, you're in sync. And so it's something I've been doing, as I said, since 2001. And the correlation that when people get it, they fill out a form, and then we do a Zoom call, and I give them a summary of everything, so they get that audio or video, and the written afterwards of what they've done, what personality training is all about. But for anybody that's ever done it, it's always been aha moment of, okay, now I know why I react this way, or why I'm, always chasing this, or why that person irks me. But it also teaches you to identify what those other personality traits are. I'm a screaming blue, so I'm very much a cosmic. I'm an air child. I'm very much about no boundaries, no walls, no nothing, right? And if I'm talking to somebody who's extremely structured and they like everything neat, orderly, logic, etc., then I am just too out there flapping in the wind. So I have to speak to them in a language they're going to understand and not impose my language upon them. And you learn to recognize what people are, what their predominant color is, so that you can actually adjust your language to speaking in a way they're going to understand you, and that there isn't going to be a conflict. So it really has opened up my world of understanding, and it helps a great deal. Every business, excuse me, every business, especially a small business, should have each of those personality traits in the business, because each one of them has a strength that's going to fortify the business. And when you have one of each in there, then you are going to have all different perspectives covered, and that's going to strengthen it. Your military, your government, Microsoft, many industries put everyone through that test to actually analyze, are they a team player? Are they a leader? Are they a follower? And put them in the right areas so that they're not going to be in conflict. So it's been used for a long time. There's lots of other different type of ones out there as well, but this is the one that I've used, but I correlate it along with the other.
Thank you for sharing that. And do you have some kind of 3B or something like that from your coaching that people can something like some questions or checklist, whatever, just maybe that people can feel that. Don't fill out the form, just like that they can just have a pieces of that.
Well, actually, if they go to a site called choosepositiveliving.com and look at discovering your true self, the program, you will see everything that is laid out there. But also you can go to a couple of podcasts I've done where I actually do talk about what it all means and how it's important. So yes, I have a complimentary 15-minute call, which will help people understand, the walking through it and everything, so people can contact me that way, and we can talk about what the process is and everything like that. I do have a spring offer at the present moment, so the whole plan is only for 88 right now, which is normally 188. So I'm giving a real big discount on that at the present moment. It doesn't take much of your time. As I said, you fill out these entire forms. I do the work on my side and then allow an hour to go through the process afterwards and the understanding. But it really is quite revolutionary kind of looking at it because we even take your elements in there as well.
Oh,
So I do have podcasts where I talk about it and why it's important and how to use it, but there is a 15-minute free call on that.
thank you for sharing that. A lot of information. Sarah, you're amazing lady, with a lot, very energetical lady.
I wish I was energetic. My spirit's energetic. My body can't always keep up.
Your
Because what are
body
you doing now?
couldn't your body couldn't follow your energy.
No, no. It goes,
Sometimes
hang on, wait for me.
energy goes
Yeah.
faster, faster,
I
and you
know, I
just
know. There's always something else. Well, what if I did this? And it's like, slap. No, you're already doing so much. Yeah,
yeah. And
that's a
would
true
you have
ADD.
something also to share about your who are mostly your clients who do help? And also, I know that you mentioned once that you have some of kind of your community of your sisterhood. So
Yes.
what is
Well,
going
that's
with
one of the
this?
podcasts that I have a sisterhood of common sense love and all the men that love and support them. And that is celebrating women like Deb Drummond, who are building a sisterhood where we're kind of rolling up our sleeves and say, like, Mama's talking now, we're not going to put up with that, and we're going to put things right, cleaning house, putting things in order. But I also do have on the orchardofwisdom.org is I have a mentors and practitioners directory. And these are people that have shared their why, their awareness shows. And then they do another show where it is talking about what they are offering, what their coaching or their practitionering offers. And so it's a directory easier to find them than just on the streamline of shows. And so people can join the directory as well. And we do those two shows. They can update every month. If they have an event or something, we can update their page every month. It's an annual platform. And it just gives, and they're on 4 sites. So it just gives people another way of finding them quicker, learning about what they have to offer, but also learning about who they are and who is doing the offering.
And also you have offer for that, some membership.
Yes, there is a charge for that. Hang on quickly. Let me have a quick look and see, make I've got the right price here.
Yeah, but as I
Uh,
said, you have a lot of things to share, and I know that
yes,
you're so engaged lady with many things what you do and never ending story.
never ending story. I know, I know. It's kind of, I see there's a need for something, and then, I have to go out and do it. So, that's the thing is like everything comes from what I see as a need. And yeah, you again go to the Orchard of Wisdom, go mentors and practitioners, you will see it all there. You will see who the members are, what it is they're offering, and then as I said, we do those shows. It's just more in depth of who they are and what it is. And the cost for that membership, an annual one, is, sorry, I'm just making sure I get it, 188 US. And as I said, they can renew it at 148 every year. And they also can send up updates. I've got this program this month. Can you add it to my page? I'm offering this. And so we keep it current. And with Deb,
Amazing,
it's
really.
perpetual keeping it current, right?
Yeah, that's pretty good. So, Sarah, yeah, do you have something else to share today? Like I asked you many questions, and
No,
sometimes,
no, no. It's great. We've really covered me comprehensively today, which is wonderful. I think
yeah,
it's just to remember this. We're all on a journey of self-discovery. We're all on a journey to find what is our wisdom. How do we download the universal God, universe source, energy, wisdom? How do we use it? And it's like to get out of head. We've got to remember this is programming. This is a database. It's incredible amount of knowledge we can have. But if we don't understand how to use that knowledge, it's just knowledge for knowledge's sake. We need the wisdom. We need to feel the wisdom. It needs to resonate with our heart in truth. It needs to lift our spirit into action for us to understand what knowledge is relevant in the now, in clarity. And when we realize that it's not all in our head, it is our beautiful essence, it is our download, it is our soul, our heart, and our spirit that is the compass, that is the guiding light, then we use that knowledge wisely. It becomes profoundly more active, profoundly more creative, and more meaningful because we're using that knowledge in the right way. So you may have an idea, something you want to do. Sit with it, give it to the universe, give it to God, and say, I really would love to do this, but is it for me? And then get out of your head, get out of your way, get ready for the download when the download comes. It's not like an Amazon delivery. It's not going to come right like that. You've got to let it come to you when it's ready to come to you. And when it does, it will really hit you. So many people get a nudge, nudge, wink, wink. They don't pay attention to it, so they get the cosmic 2x4. But that cosmic 2x4 is just telling you didn't pay attention to the nudge, nudge, wink, wink. I'm taking everything away from you that you think you have. And I'm asking you to redirect and rebuild to what you need to have and what you need to do. So don't ever look at any crisis as the be all and the end all. It is the end of what does not serve you. It is the beginning of what truly can be. And so be open, be heartful, be soulful, be spiritual, and open up to what can be. Embrace your own essence, your own beautiful light, and step into that light, and you will see then what path really is what you need to walk. Nothing is ever a waste, because whatever you've learned goes with you, and you understand those lessons even more so when you're walking that path. But be willing to experience, to feel, to allow, to become, to be aware, and open up and become what you're meant to be. It's not doing, it's being.
And don't be in a box. Just be,
There is no
open your
box.
mind,
Right.
and don't afraid, because something is ups and downs. Is it down? This is opportunity for new things which you didn't have time with your closed eyes to see
Yes,
it. So this is
exactly.
something which you can see it.
We
And
put tools in a
always
box.
is opportunity. So
Exactly. We put tools in a box, right?
yeah.
Right. We know that box has that tool, that box has that tool. You're not meant to be in a box,
Yeah.
right? You're never meant, there are boundaries, and that's very, very different. We need to know our boundaries of when to say, no, sorry, not for me, or I can't do it at this time. No, I'm not interested. We need the boundaries of what energies are around us to protect ourselves, to protect our own innocence. That is not borders, that is not boxes.
But we also have our intuition.
That is everything. That is your knowingness. That
When
is
we
your
just
compass.
exclude our mind and Allah put it up to be
Yeah.
inside of you.
Trust it. Trust your gut. Trust that flutter. Trust, you know it again when it's the deep breath. It just is. You don't need to clarify, verify, justify. It just is. How do you know? I don't know. I just know. And you don't know it in franticness. You know it in peace. Then you know you're
Yeah.
on the right track.
You need a
That's
peace
knowingness.
to be with your own self
Yeah.
and move. And always is opportunity. It
Yes.
doesn't matter you how are you old, how is
Mm.
your old, always is opportunity to move forward. So,
I
and
don't
to believe
care
in
if
yourself.
you're newborn or you're 99. There is always room for growth. And that doesn't mean you have to go and start something. It may be something that you're finishing. I mean, the oldest person I've interviewed was 92, took a new lover at 90, had a TV show, right? The youngest person was 10, had written a book on gratitude, right? And it's like, stop linearizing us. We are not a straight line. You look at our DNA, you look at our wavelength, nothing is a straight line. Everything has movement and twist and turn to it. So stop thinking you've got to walk linear forward. That's human time. That's not the way you were designed. Go with
So
your
you
flow,
need to
go with your
design for
rhythm.
yourself what you feel.
Or you tune into your inner design,
Yeah.
into your inner frequency, your inner signature. When you tune
Yeah.
into your wavelength, and that's the wavelength that you
And be
travel.
authentic. We are all different. We are all
Yes,
authentic, and we all deserve to live our life how we wanted to do. Not just to
exactly.
copy paste it with other people. Just be
Absolutely.
yourself.
Everybody else is taken, just be you,
Be you. Yeah.
right? And the authenticity is when you are true to who you are. That's authenticity. It gets thrown out a lot, being authentic. Well, are you authentic if you're only living from the head expectation or the head dictation? Or are you being authentic when you're truly from your heart, soul, and spirit being you in your own essence? That's authenticity. That's ownership. That's self-governance.
This is something what you have for yourself. No one
Exactly.
can take it
No.
from you.
And that is the evolution of humankind, is to be at one with your astral self, is to be at one with your cosmic self, your God self. That is to be at one. That's when you truly understand you're not a humanoid, you're a human being.
Thank you for sharing that. So, Sarah, let's say again how listeners can connect with you and also to get about the project, about the book, about all these things what we spoke today. I will put all links,
Well,
discovery,
so
and
the
and
mhm,
and your social media where people can also connect with you on social media on
right.
LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram.
They are not all the same name because I've been so many
Yeah,
different
you
names
have
for
many
so
of them.
long. So
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
different names. So um, the best thing to do, I mean, if you go to the orchardofwisdom.org for the books, it will also show you, my platform for the discovery yourself. Everything will link back to where it's meant to go. It's even got the podcasts on there to show you
If
where
you
to
go to
go for that.
podcast, you will find everything there.
If
So all your
everything will
links.
be there, and that's everything to do with projects. If you go to selfdiscoverywisdom.com, that's where you will see primarily all the podcasts, including yours. All they have to do is put your name in, and every podcast you've done with me will come up, and the one that we're doing on May 12th. So come and
Thank you,
listen to
thank
that one.
you. I cannot
And
wait to be with you again.
yeah, no, it'd be a wonderful conversation. This time, turn it on you. But they can reach out to me at selfdiscoverywisdom at gmail.com. Right? So selfdiscoverywisdom at gmail.com. But when you're putting in there, put in it, are you looking at Discover Yourself? Are you looking at Senior's book? I get over 100 email every day. So please put in the information
Subject.
line, subject thing of what you're interested in, and then I know if it's two colors, just put it there, and then I know I can go straight to it because then I get an awful lot of crap every day. So it's
A
and then
lot
I can
work
get oh God, the
to
emails
read
alone.
emails and to answer on it.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, it's amazing, Sarah. I really enjoyed today episode. I really enjoyed to speak to you. I'm so happy. And before we ramp up, don't forget to subscribe to the KSM Growing Business Online with Kristina podcast. Just subscribe to get new notification about new episodes. Dear Sarah, thank you so very much. I really enjoyed. Thank you for joining the podcast, this episode today. And I see you again very soon. And I will be on your podcast also on May 12th.
12, yes. Looking forward to it.
Thank you
And
so
thank you
much
very
and
much.
have a lovely day and bye for now. Thank
Bye for
you.
now.
Bye bye.